What up, YouTube? Holler at your girl, Cookster. Before I start, about my genealogy stories based on true stories, events. 3 stories I gotta tell you about. I don't know. I didn't talk about them in the past. When I was helping these people out, different people I help out. It's about genealogy. They're meeting their families, and I heard stories from other people. But before I start, subscribe down below to my channel. Give me a thumbs up and comment and let me know your experience. And here we go with the first story. I helped this girl one time. She came through our genealogy group and she was telling me about her dad. He had left them when I say she was about 10 years old. The dad has got up and left and moved to another county. It's the same state, but moved to another county. And the county is probably about, I'm going to say about 3 hours. Yeah, it's about 3 hours. And then she came through our group and she said that one of the cousins kept in touch with her on her dad's side. Because they knew the mom's side, but not too much the dad's side. Dad got up, moved to another county, and started a whole brand new family. So when she was giving me the details and I was helping her and stuff, I asked her information, everything that she could tell me, and even guess at it. If you guess at stuff, and then, I got to doing my genealogy because there's different websites. You can maneuver around stuff. You can maneuver around. You can't go to the paid subscriptions all the time. It's by word of mouth, what you hear, what you remember when you was a child. That go a long way. Everybody heard a story when it was little, but not to say anything to nobody, because that's what kids do. You just shut your mouth. And then when you became adult, then you might have opened your mouth up and told or said something to somebody. Somebody said know the same story, right? Okay. So when I was helping her, she ended up finding that cousin in the county where the dad moved. And when he left them when he was 10 years old, she got in touch with her. And she found out where she lived at and everything. So she kept in touch with that one cousin. See, that one person will help you the most. Everybody goes to the oldest person because they know all the answers. But there's other cousins know little bits. They was young too. You remember, everybody was born in different generations. You could be born in the 60s, 70s, 80s, the 50s. Everybody got their own story. If they heard the same thing, they might add 2 more things to the story that you didn't know about. But now you know about it because they told you about it. And then y'all go get together and collect stories and what you heard and all that. And that's how you found out. So she called that cousin, and that cousin ended up calling the other cousins. And she had ended up moving to the same county the daddy moved to. But, she heard he had moved to that county, just got me really communicate with the mother no more. But she ended up moving to the same county the daddy moved to and found 30 cousins in one day. And I helped her. I said, all right, I got the details and all that, information and name and all that. And she reunited with them. I think she reunited them, was it 2 days or the next day, I want to say. I can't remember. But they all met at the park. And she reunited with 30 of her cousins on her dad's side. And she only knew that one cousin. They stayed in touch. It wasn't for that one cousin to stay in touch. She don't know where her daddy was at. But then we could find out because, there's a lot of stuff on the internet. You could find out where people live at because there's so many websites out there that'll list all your phone numbers. There's a website out there that'll give you all the addresses you ever lived at. And it all the way down. I don't care if you lived at 20 of them. It'll tell you all the year you lived there and everything. So the internet is powerful, y'all. I want to let you know that. So she met 30 relatives in one day and she was happy and everything. So that's the end of that story. So story number 2 was, which one I wrote down? Okay, these cousins. All right. They didn't know they was cousins. Okay. What happened was they hooked up, this boy and this girl. I'm going to tell you about this state. They was in, I want to say it's New Jersey. They had a family reunion in Georgia. Now remember, they hooked up. They came to the family reunion. They was like 23, 25 years old, stuff like that. They've been dating for 2 years. When they got down there to that family reunion, and they had it at a park too, the grandmother was down there. One of the oldest and older, family members. They're like in their 70s, 80s. And they said they saw them walking and holding hands. They're looking like, why is she, they're gossiping like this. Why is she walking with that, holding her cousin's hand like that and all that? The girl didn't know that the boy she was dating was her cousin. And they was married. So they said, what you doing with so-and-so? What you mean? You know they cousins. What happened was the parents got into a fight. It's like you got 4 siblings, and then one of them you don't talk to them, you don't communicate no more. The other 3, you talk to them on and off, but you don't really communicate. They didn't know the kids' names. They knew that their siblings had a kid. They heard off the street or other people, but they never. One of the siblings, they didn't get along. They stopped talking about almost a decade. So they heard the other sibling had kids, but they never knew it was a boy or girl or their names. You see what I'm getting at? And then when they told them, y'all related, it's like, what you talking about? Then the oldest one of the oldest people down there, a lady, told them, that's your cousin right there. Like that. They didn't communicate. That's what happened. If you don't communicate with your family, you're gonna find out your kids are gonna be the one hurting. They're gonna end up meeting somewhere and don't know they're related because you parents don't tell them who their family members are. I don't care if you fight with your siblings. Let them know that you got kids. If you don't want to tell them, tell another cousin to tell them that you got kids, what their names are, and where they live at. Say something, because they're going to end up hooking up. And that's terrible. Yeah. Okay, I got one more story. It was just crazy. I can add another one, though. I had 3, but this 4th one's going to add. Okay, another person came through our genealogy group. And he had this girl in high school. And they had a baby. Right? He ended up leaving when he graduated high school and moved to another state. The girl stayed there. The girl's mother. They broke up. They was high school sweethearts. She broke up. He moved on to another state. Then through the years, he married his wife and had another family. She stayed there with her daughter. That was by him. They didn't communicate no more. Blah, 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 blah. He moved on. Whatever. Then the baby they had was a girl. She ended up moving to the state where her dad was at. But they didn't really communicate. And she stayed on campus at the college. His son, with a wife, because the son went up there to the same college. And then he just happened to told the dad, oh, hey dad, I met some girl. And the dad said, oh, what's her name? And he told the girl's name. And he said, oh, okay, like that. And he's like, okay. Then about 5 minutes later, he was like, oh, where she live, man? And he told her what state it's from. And she's like, oh, then he asked another question. He said, Dad, why you keep asking me all these questions? But just tell me what's going on like that. Because the name he gave his father was the same name he had. He had a girl that same name in that other state. But she was in the state here. And they met at the college. They met at the community college. They was finna go out to the club that night. And no telling what they would have did. So finally the father said, what's her last name? And when he said that last name, he was looking all crazy. Then he said, what's her mother? Dad, why you want to know all that? Well, I used to date a girl and, blah, 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 blah. And find out, same one he had the baby by high school, but he didn't say nothing to the new wife. So you know where I'm going. So he finally called the girl and said, what's your mother's name? He told her, find out, same girl. And then he told his son, well, son, I got something to tell you. He said, what? He said, you can't date that girl. He said, why, Dad? Why I can't? He said, because that's your sister. The boy was like, what you mean? Well, I had a baby in high school. When your mother get up work today, we got to sit down. I got to tell her that I had a baby in high school. But I never told your mama. So he had a half-sister he never knew about. So what you think? Is that a coincidence? Huh? Or is it meant to be told? They was finna hook up and go to the club. You see, he already from the state and she out of town. He was finna show her all around. Ain't no telling what they would have did. End up being with his half-sister. Almost. Well, you know what? Thank the Lord that it didn't happen. So, don't keep secrets. If you got another kid out there, let somebody know you got another kid out there. Because stuff like this can happen. That's embarrassing. All because you don't know your family names. You're keeping these secrets. I mean, these secrets are decade old. You might as well tell the person. If not, write it down on a piece of paper. You don't want to hurt nobody. But then at the same time, you want to marry your cousin. Date your, you don't know your relative, you know. Some people say they don't see what's wrong with dating your third or fourth cousin. But that's sick. That's disgusting. That's nasty. You don't do that. So tell your family name. And I got one more story. I said 3, but it's getting good. The 4th story was this girl and guy dated. They married and they had a baby. But the baby came out all right. Found out they was cousins. Yes, they was cousins. They was I think it was first, second cousin. Something like that. First, second cousin. Not first cousin. First and second cousins. Then this is the crazy part. When the guy told the girl that he married, that's his cousin, he said, we can't be together no more. They was together like, I think like 2 years. Not even that. Found out because through relatives and everything. He went to a family reunion, found out. He said, can't be together. You know, don't you know that girl said, you ain't finna leave me. And she know that's her cousin. Something wrong with her. You know, something wrong with her. Then they said, you're going to have to break that off. They end up going to another family reunion. But the guy had left her. When they got back home, he divorced her. Or left her. Whatever, separated. But he's putting in the process of paperwork, left her. And then they went to another family reunion. She ended up going because it's the same family. It's the same family. She get there. He went on and met somebody else and brought the girl to the family reunion. The girl that was with her cousin, no, that ain't her cousin. You know, they can't be together no more. She was there telling her cousin that was her cousin, but you know, ended up being her husband, telling her why he don't want you. He don't want you. He still want me. Now you know that's something wrong with her. And they already told you they cousins, and she still wanted to be with the cousin. That's just crazy. Something wrong with her. So we was like jaw dropping. We couldn't believe. I mean, I was like stuck like glue like this. You didn't hear a pin drop. We was listening to the story like, what? She still wanted to be with him after she know that's her cousin? First and second cousins? Something ain't right. She still wanted to be with him. They had a girl, but the girl came out all right though. But you know, something wrong with her. So the thing is, genealogy stories, there's so many out there. If you just open your mouth and say something, you don't know who you sit next to. It could be your relatives, but if your family members don't tell you they had another kid out there, you ain't gonna know. And you're gonna be walking around looking stupid. So you might as well tell them. Or if you got a t-shirt on, somebody say, hey, that's my family member. Oh, how's that your family? Then they explain it to you. So that's what I want to tell you. As I was doing this genealogy, I never really told a lot of stories about that, but I wanted to bring that up. So let me know about your story. Subscribe down below to my channel. Holler at your girl Cookster. And remember, tell your family who you are, whom you are, who is ass. Tell them your real last name, not your step parent, not grandma's maiden name. your real last family name so they'll know who their real family, who is my real daddy, who my real mama, who my real grandmother, grandfather. Don't say step, because that's not running through the blood. That's not running through your blood. If your blood ain't running through that person's blood, you're not their family. I don't care if you did raise them. You want to know your real family, point blank. And I think everybody know their real family. All right, this your girl Cookster. Subscribe to my channel down below. Comment. If you need help with genealogy, let me know. Drop your email and I can help you. And I'm out. Peace.